don't understand. How many Nadeco day? How many Nadeco day? Tomorrow we'll go, yes, say Nadeco say this. Another one will say, no, we did not say so. This is what we are saying. Okay. The National Democratic Coalition, Nadeco, has called on the President of the United States, Joe Biden, not to recognize the government of Nigeria's President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu until the end of the ongoing litigation challenging his victory. Nadeco also accused the Independent National Electoral Commission of brazenly violating the Electoral Act of 2022 by failing to transmit the election results from the polling units to the servers in real time as promised. This was contained in a communique issued by Nadeco and its extraordinary summit held in Washington, D.C. in the U.S. The communique, which was signed by Leod Ugu, Nadeco's executive director, urged the U.S. to withhold any recognition of an incoming Nigerian government until the Supreme Court has thoroughly and transparently examined the 2023 election process as the US did with the 2022 elections in Kenya. The group also advised the US government to impose Magnitsky Act sanctions immediately on those found to have impeded or subverted the 2023 election process, exercising all available sections or sanctions on such individuals. It further enjoined the US to utilize the late General Sani Abacha's loot currently in assets for future proceedings in US District Court to compensate victims of elections violence in Nigeria. Disclose and release all available records pertaining to the All Progressives Congress presidential candidates which are now at issue in the election petitions to the court for adjudication, it added. Besides, Nadeco alleged that INEC violated the Electoral Act of 2022, its own guidelines, and lied to the Nigerian people when it promised that it would transmit the election results from the polling units to the servers in real time, lamenting that it failed to do so. The group further called on President Muhammadu Buhari to, as a matter of urgency, remove Professor Mahmood Yakubu, chairman of INEC, and further called on his arrest and prosecution. It also added that all other INEC officials found wanting in electoral fraud be prosecuted by the competent courts of law. The communique also decried that many Nigerians have lost hope in judiciary due to some controversial judgments it had delivered in recent times, but said that the fate of millions of Nigerians depended on it. It also approached the Supreme Court of Nigeria and the election tribunals most expeditiously and transparently. Okay, it also proposed that the Supreme Court and the tribunal must consider election challenges, and in the case of the presidency, if no final determination is reached on the results of the February 2023 election before the scheduled May 29, 2023 election, before the scheduled May 23 inauguration, the constitution must be followed. It posited that the Constitution provides for the Senate President to be installed as the acting president for 3 months to chart a legal transition in power in Nigeria. To achieve these objectives, our legal panel recommended further that parties in the petitions request and the court grants a writ of mandamus order requiring INEC to review all parties' objections and reevaluate the elections results within 7 days as authorized by law, which INEC failed to do. Okay, this one, that the tribunal's proceeding be broadcast live, given the global interest, import, and importance of the elections. In that light, we commend the commencement of tribunal hearing, where all parties have pledged to expedite the process, that the Nigerian Supreme Court, the Nigerian government, and all of its security agencies, including the Department of State of Service, refrain from hastily swearing in or facilitating the swearing in of any of the 2023 presidential candidates until their exhaustion of all available remedies. Alternatively, give the widespread discontent and rejection of electoral process by Nigerians at home and abroad. The Nigeria Supreme Court urged to rely on the political question doctrine to restrain itself from the polarizing nature of its decision regarding the 2023 presidential elections and order INEC to conduct a fresh election which complies with the requirements of the Nigerian Constitution, the 2022 Electoral Act as amended, and INEC's own guidelines. The body also called for the unbundling of the Nigerian police and decentralization in order to effectively maintain law and order across the entire country. It urged that a single police system has become archaic and inadequate to effectively and adequately police a country as populous as Nigeria with an expansive land mass. It also challenged the Nigerian government to always obey the rule of law irrespective of its outcome, stressing that the government had been speculative or selective in obeying the law. Yeah, the cherry pick. Okay. Well, to me, whether you tell Biden or you don't tell Biden, why is it that Biden himself has not really congratulated Tinubu himself? I think they know what they are doing. You telling them not to do that, for them not to do that, they know what um, is obtainable. So you're telling him he's not going to change anything. But of course, we know what has really been happening. And for those who are really for justice, we know that something just did somewhere. We know just the rights. Like I said, how many Nadeco we get? How many Nadeco we get to? Okay, wow, good one. Let the right thing be done in Nigeria. We cannot continue in manipulating things and we want things to get better. No. They always cherry pick. People always like to support anybody they feel that oh, they just feel like supporting, not because the person did right or so. Well, that's just what we see. The way we see it. Let's hear your opinion.